I think that's what Travis Scott was going with Astroworld. It was a roller coaster for everyone. And I remember reading the Apple Music description of this, and I was like, okay, he got this spot on. Like, this is exactly what the album is. And I love it for what it is, because you get songs like NC-17 that are super in your face, super aggressive, super dark, but then you'll get on your melodic side, like when I'm like smoking at night, I'll put on Astro Thunder, and like just my whole mood changes, and that's what Travis does so well. So why do you think it's an album that, one, resonates so well with the community, and two, is aging so well for what we see it right now, Lou?
I just think that it was Travis's most hyped album to this day. And everyone remembers their first time listening to Astroworld. It was the perfect first listen just because the features were not revealed to us. And that was a huge thing. I mean, I know that you had a crazy experience when you first listened to this album. So take us through that.
Yeah. So it's a great point you bring up on the first listen. I think a lot of times on Twitter, you see that question being asked that, hey, if you could go back in time and have another first listen, which album would you pick? And a lot of people, including myself, would pick Astroworld. And just thinking back to the first time that I was listening to it, I was just sort of chilling in bed. I was very excited for the new Travis drop. Obviously, he had the Jack Huncho tape with Quavo in 2017, and off the back of that, I was pretty excited to see if he could bring something new and see how he could change things up, and especially trying to bounce back from Birds in the Trap. But you couldn't expect what ended up happening. Stargazing comes on, and you're like, wow, this is a pretty chill opener. And then boom, beat switch. You're like, holy shit, what just happened? And before you can even contemplate what might have just happened, you're thrown straight into a ride immediately. Carousel plays, Frank Ocean comes on, and you mentioned the hidden features, right? He hadn't dropped anything really since 2016 with Blonde. And you're like, wow, Frank Ocean verse, and he's singing, and this is just beautiful. What is this, a sample? And before you could even contemplate that, you then go to sicko mode, and boom, beat switches and Drake. You're just like, well, this is crazy. And it just keeps going on, track after track after track. So as a first listen, it never stopped, just like a theme park. You were always kind of going on these rides. I kind of like to think of it that he takes you on a ride, or he takes you on different rides in his own theme park, and there's no lines. So there's no wait between each song. You're just kind of going through the motions. I think, honestly, we could do a whole episode on Astroworld. I just have so much to say about it, so much to analyze about each track. Just a phenomenal first listen, and one of my favorites. And as you can see, for my for those that are viewing this with the visuals, I'm rocking that Astroworld merch right now. So absolutely love the album.
Yeah, man. And I think that, I respect Astroworld so much just because it broke all the boundaries of what a trap album could be. So not only do we have trap elements and, very 808 heavy songs like, Who What, NC-17, Sicko Mode, but we also have songs like Coffee Bean, where we have more of an old school hip hop aesthetic with a funky guitar playing in the background. So Travis really mixed in a lot of different subgenres. And then we have a song like Stop Trying to Be God, which to me is a sonic masterwork, where we have Kid Cudi's humming. We have Stevie Wonder, with the harmonica. It was just perfection. And Travis just did it all on this album, and he lived up to the hype, man. And it's really hard to be as consistent as he's been over his career.
Yeah, he's been super consistent. And the only thing I'm going to have to disagree with you on is that Birds is a miss. I'm a big fan of Birds. I think it was not something where he didn't want Birds to be, like the Astroworld or the Rodeo to his discography. It was more something where he wanted to maybe show his capabilities in different sounds. And, it was his album that sounded the most, let's say, like trap. Like, it was the one with, not the most slaps, but let's say the most party bangers, if you could put it like that. And party bangers obviously doesn't equal quality, or, doesn't maybe equal the best artistry, but I really did like it. And going back to Astroworld, one thing that I really liked about the whole album was the rollout, and he would have these beautiful inflatable golden, like sort of bouncy houses of his head around different cities in the States, like LA and New York. And, it kind of got people talking like, holy fuck, what's Travis doing here? And then after that, when he dropped the project on August 10th, he did bundle it with his merchandise, which was absolutely crazy too. It was a beautiful marketing rollout. And not only that, but he started getting deeper into his relationships with Kylie Jenner. His kid was just born that year too. So it was a good all around rollout for him, man. Like, everything was perfect timing, and it completely exploded the album.